Days turned into weeks, but for Hachi, time seemed to stand still. Every single evening, like clockwork, he would appear at the train station. He always arrived a little early, finding his usual spot. There, he would sit, a statue of silent devotion, his eyes fixed on the station entrance. He just waited. At first, the daily commuters and passersby barely gave him a second glance. To most, he was just another stray dog, a common sight in a busy city. But one person started to see more than just a stray. One person began to notice the pattern. His name was Carl, the man who worked at the ticket counter. He had a front row seat to Hachi's quiet ritual. Carl observed everything. He saw how Hachi would sit perfectly still for hours, but the moment the evening train hissed to a stop, the dog would rise to his paws. He saw the hopeful anticipation in Hachi's eyes as they scanned every single face stepping onto the platform. And then, he saw the most heartbreaking part of all. As the last passenger left and the crowd thinned, with no sign of Professor Parker, Hachi's head would slowly, almost imperceptibly, lower. The light in his eyes would dim, replaced by a profound, silent sadness. But it was never defeat. It was just postponement. Until tomorrow. It was in that moment of quiet disappointment that Carl finally understood. This wasn't a lost dog looking for a way home. This was a dog who was already home, waiting for his world to return. Hachi wasn't lost. He was waiting. He was waiting for someone specific. One cold evening, as the sky turned a deep shade of purple, Carl felt a pull on his heart he could no longer ignore. He closed his ticket booth for a short break, took a small bowl of food he had brought from home, and quietly walked over to where Hachi sat. He didn't say a word. He just gently placed the bowl on the ground beside the steadfast Akita. Hachi turned his head, his dark eyes meeting Carl's for a brief second. He acknowledged the food, then immediately turned his gaze back toward the station entrance. The train hadn't left yet. The last few passengers were still trickling out. His duty wasn't over. It was only after the train pulled away, its final rumble fading into the night, that Hachi finally lowered his head and began to eat the food Carl had left. His loyalty to Parker came first. Even before his own hunger, Carl's simple act of kindness was like a stone dropped into a still pond. The ripples began to spread. Soon, others in the community started to notice Hachi's unwavering vigil. The woman who ran the flower stand across the street saw him every day. The owner of the small bakery nearby began to watch the dog's routine. Elderly couples taking their evening strolls started to talk about the waiting dog. The community's curiosity slowly transformed into a shared, unspoken sympathy. One day, a small bowl of fresh water appeared next to Hachi's spot. The next, the baker left a piece of bread near him. As the days grew shorter, and the autumn chill gave way to the bite of winter, someone placed a sturdy piece of cardboard on the cold pavement. A small, humble shelter against the wind. People began to talk amongst themselves, their voices soft with a mix of wonder and quiet sadness. "He's here again today," one commuter would whisper to another. "He comes every single day. You know, I heard he's waiting for someone who used to take this train." The legend of the loyal dog of Shibuya Station was beginning to form, one quiet observation at a time. But what these kind-hearted people didn't fully grasp was the depth of Hachi's devotion. He wasn't waiting for the food they left. He wasn't waiting for their pity or their gentle pats on the head. He appreciated their kindness, but it wasn't what he was there for. Hachi was waiting for something far more specific. He was listening for the sound of a particular set of footsteps on the pavement, a rhythm he knew by heart. He was waiting to hear a familiar, gentle voice call his name. He was waiting for the scent of his best friend, his human, his Parker, because to Hachi, this daily vigil was not a chore. It wasn't a burden or a form of suffering. He didn't see the long hours or the cold nights. For Hachi, this act of waiting was simply an expression of love. It was the only way he knew how to keep his promise, how to keep his connection to the man who had shown him what it meant to be part of a family. Waiting was his love letter to a memory sent out into the world every single day. But a love so profound, a loyalty so absolute, is a rare and powerful thing, and sometimes it's not understood by everyone, even by those who mean well. The news of Hachi's daily wait eventually reached what was left of Professor Parker's family. They were concerned for the dog, believing his place was with them, in a warm home, not on a cold station platform. Soon, they will arrive at the station. They will try to take Hachi away, to bring him to a new home, far from the life he once knew. They believe they are doing what's best for him, but can anyone truly understand the heart of a dog like Hachi? Find out what happens next in episode 6. Thanks for watching, and if you're following Hachi's story, make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss what's coming.